G'day everyone, just welcome to the Great International Craft Show. Just wanted to get the computer going. I'll see if I can get my phone going. And I'll see if I can do it without the sound going spaz. Okay. Alrighty, so I can see who's on. Say g'day when you're on. I'm just reading things. So today we're going to do some crazy patchwork. So I'm going to explain to you what I got in front of me. I have some trims, embellishments. Got a bit of thread wrapped around it. Go away. And I have what they call a patch, and this is made, also handmade one from India. I do have some of these in stock, not a huge amount. Yasmita from G'day Michelle and Eileen, how are you all? Just making sure that I can see all the comments. Oh, there we go. There's my mouse. Come on, baby. There we are. And we've got Rado, Denise, Suzanne. How are you all? And also I have some lace. It's a embroidered chiffon. Okay. And I have torn a nail today, and I tore my finger. It really hurts. So there's a couple of embellishments. I have some fabrics that are left over, and the colours might be all over the show, but I'll be happy with what I've got. So I've got some fabrics there left over. Some are already joined and some aren't. G'day, Deb. So I also have some of these, but I don't think they're going to go with this, even though they'll match that. They might not match fabrics, maybe. I'll see how I go. I also have a bit of the Inferno fabric, so I might actually end up throwing in a bit of a pink in there as well. We'll see how we go. G'day, Linda. Which is it's pretty interesting fabric. It's pretty cool. Yeah, so that's that. I have my machine set up with a walking foot because I'm going to use, I've got a bit of cotton fabric here and I've got wadding. It's just a poly, just for the demo. You can use any wadding you want or desire, whatever you're used to using. If you're going to join it together in blocks as a quilt, then you're going to need to keep it consistent. First steps we're going to need, this is a fairly fragile. I'm going to need to actually stitch around it. The thread I have in there is a white. It'll do for today. Might end up changing it as I go. When I change to stitch some of these, I might stitch it with a burgundy or a red. But I think for now, while I'm just putting these on, it'll do nicely. I also have a pair of scissors there, and these are little duckbills, mini duckbills, and they're also available through myself. And what else is there I have? The thread on the top is a Resant thread, so just a basic thread, and the one in the bobbin is a Deco Bob pre-wound bobbin. There you go. Alrighty, so first things first, I'm going to stitch around there. I'm not going to stitch right on that line. I'm going to come in out a bit from that triangle. It's nice to have your centerpiece or whatever piece you're going to put in the center to have lots of different edges. It's lovely. Rather than circular can be okay too, but you'll always end up with little corners that you have to sort out later. So I'm just going to quickly stitch that down. I know why it's making that noise. Put up. Needs this little thing in. There we go. Down. There we go. Good morning, Pat. Don't know how long we'll be here. Grandson Riley's coming soon for the day. Oh, nice. You'll have a day with your grandy. Lovely. It's a bit of noise. All right, so then cut off. Okay, so first things first. Now you can do this with a blade or with the scissors, depending on what I'm doing and what I'm cutting. I sometimes prefer to do it with scissors. A bit like foundation piecing, make sure that all your fabric is out of the way. If you're going to use a blade, and cut yourself like a small seam, but you can do it neatly or with scissors, whatever you like. Just depends on how much you want left in there. Always reiterate that. So scissors is just as easy. Okay. Oh, I can see some comments there. So, hi Heather, hi Helen, Alison. Do you have a class at 11 p.m. tonight on craft? I saw that. No, not that I'm aware of. I think it might be a repeat for the international viewers. So, I did see that. Something about fabric, it said, and I'm going to message them to find out for sure. But yeah, just giving it a shake, get rid of some excess. Morning, Judy. So you can see I'm just cutting some excess off. CCCF, Kerry Phillips. I don't know what that means. All right, so next step is the next fabric. So this will, because there's burgundy in it, and it'll match the burgundy. And I do have, probably should have ironed it, but anyway. I do have offcuts from the quilt that I did. So I'm going to put that there, and even though it's sort of patchworky, it's going to, just looking at the seam, a little bit of a thing there. I'm just going to do that. Yeah, that's sort of what I'm thinking it might be, Rado. I'll confirm with Craft Alive anyway, just in case. Oh, this machine, this foot does not like being on the edge of fabric. Oops, it is. Wrong button. Pick a button, any button. Would you repeat what you were making, please? Judy, I'm just doing another crazy patchwork piece, something that can be used in another, like in a quilt or in a pillow or a bag or whatever you like. So I'm just getting that little bit of fabric that was already joined, a bit like, it's all joined. And I'm just going to start on the bottom piece across here. I'm going to trim off that excess before I start. You can do it afterwards if you so feel. And if you look at the seam there it is there, and you can see it's sort of a bit rounded. We want to come inside that so we don't see the white seam. So I'm going to just line that up, move it forward a fraction, finger press that down, and I'm going to now stitch from here down to here. Okay. All right. Okay, that leaves me with a little bit of that. Before I trim that off, I just make sure that I've got rid of that white seam there, which I have. A little bit of hairy bits there, I'll get rid of them later. And I'll just trim off that little bit of excess. Doesn't need to be there. You can use your little scissors if you want to get closer. Duckbills are good for that. Just need to make sure that you don't overdo it and trim the actual fabric underneath. So finger press that over, hold it down nicely. Now, I can't just go ahead and do this. I need to cut across the corner, okay? Because if I just put a piece of fabric, say, straight there, what I'm going to end up with is an opening. So I need to get a piece of fabric, maybe this one, doesn't have to be big, and come across there on an angle so that it folds over like that. And then when I do this one, I've got a filler in between. All right, so just using, now I don't want this as wide as that. I'm going to come in a little bit. Okay, I can see my stitches there. So I'm going to come into about there, because wherever I start this yellow one is where this is going to end up getting cut back to. I'm going to start there and just come across to here, so that little area there. So has anyone got any questions so far? And I'm going to make sure it's covered it, which it has, and trim off that little bit of thread. And I might just come in there with that, just trim that off a little bit closer in. Okay, press that over. And I can now trim off that excess here to where the seam sort of finished. Okay, nicely pressed down. Now we're going to come across. Now I can do all the way across, or I can create another spot. So to create that other spot, I could come across this angle, which will create another angle in it, which gives me another option on taking the corner. Okay, or I can come straight down here, but I'm going to have a really long piece. And that one was really good because I have the two joined. So what I need to find is the same sort of thing, but different colours. Let's have a look at this. What have we got here? Look at that. That is perfecto. So we can go straight from here all the way down. But I'm going to have two colours in it, or I can put it in the middle and get three, which would be even better. Okay, so going up to that white line, the stitch line there, I am making sure my corners are met with the fabric. I'm going to move it forward a fraction, hold it in place and take it to the machine. And I'm going to stitch all the way from here down to here. Okay. This is how you use up your little scrap bits and pieces that you've cut from actual quilts. Just going to move that microphone a little bit. And cut off. Bring it back over. See this one here, because I'm so close, I'm going to trim that with the little scissors. If I tried to get those big scissors behind there, I'd probably fail. And using a blade could cause me some issues. So I'm just going to trim that with those. See how nice and close it gets. Give it a shake. And let's flip it over. And instantly we have those three colours on one side, and I have covered that white seam. All right, but I still haven't. I've come over that little bit of excuse me, little bit of hand stitching there, but it's no big problem because I'm probably going to cross over a little bit anyway with some ribbons and trims and stuff. So that one looks really good. Again, it is not going to be that wide. All right, just a heads up. Excuse me, clearing my throat. All right, so I've also got this one. It's a nice big piece. This is from the horse quilt that I made, creating the Bargello. So I've really getting to utilise some of those scrap fabrics. I might actually, so I might actually grab this one. I do like this fabric, and create my corner. Go across. I don't want to use the same colour as that one. Of course, this is not going to be as big as this. I'm just stitching, and like I say, I'm not going to stitch all the way up to there, otherwise it makes it a massive piece. I'm going to come halfway-ish and right across, making sure I've collected that seam underneath. All right, and if I flip that straight away, you can see I've done that. So I've cut across on an angle. I'm also going to take these out. That one will come out with the scissors easily. That corner a little bit. I am going to need to just trim a little. Flip that over. Little threads everywhere. You find that with this sort of project, you will get little bits everywhere. I can either cut that back now or later. I'm just going to leave it for the time being and see what it does. It is only going to go to that height because that's the size of it there. Sorry, I'm losing the picture. Am I going the right way? There it is. Sorry. Okay, so that's how high it's going to be. So if I wanted to, I could literally cut that out. Yeah, we'll do it now and I'll show you what I mean. Cut that out there. And that gives me that corner. Okay, and I can use that again somewhere else. Now, next one. We want something a little bit different in colour, but not so different. So I can use one whole colour going across the bottom and that will sort of give it that look. Which I'm not too, I think that looks all right. So in doing that, and like I say, these are all scrap bits from a quilt that I made. So I might pop that one across, right across, and I will actually let it go all the way up to here, about here, I think. And just judging by looking at the seam and the length that I need to go, might come out a little bit further. There we go. So I'm going to sew from about here to here. All right. Okie doke. All right. I'm going to trim off that end. I don't need it right now. I'm going to trim off that. I don't need it right now. And that. And then with my little scissors, I'll get under there and just give that a bit of a clean up. Make more of a mess, whichever one you prefer. Okay. Shake. And fold that over. And I've created the bottom of it now. Still creating that triangular look, but now I want to start on the next row. I want to start breaking that up a little bit so it's not too regimented. So my next step is to come across and create a different angle on this line, on this straight line. So I'm going to come across here and create like a triangle out of it, okay, out of this side. All right, so to do that, I need to come from this side here across to here. And I don't want it to sit right there on that, otherwise that'll just look weird. So I'm going to make it come all the way over here. And I've just got to pick a colour, a fabric, something that I want to use. That one's pretty. We'll use this one. Oh, actually, what have I got here? Nice. Okay. A little bit skewy from the seam. So has anyone got any questions so far? Okay. All right. So I'm going to sew from here all the way across to here, breaking up that one there, and you'll see what I mean. Okay, so we need to trim all this off. I think I'll do it with the little fellas because I can get a little bit closer. And that there is sewn right down. I can trim it back if I want to. If not, you can always cut around that seam and fold that over. And now effectively I've cut off that corner and taken away that straight square blocked look. All right. Now to fix this so it doesn't look like it again, I need to then come across here. I also don't want this to be too wide. So by doing that, I break it up and make it smaller, okay? I was thinking about putting a blue in there, but I'm not too sure on that. So just trying to find some little scrappy bits. Scraps are good. You can see these are all scraps. I'm just going to do that seam. Oh, it does. That foot hates doing anything other than, what do they call it? Using the layers, so it really doesn't like it, so it chewed it up. So I'm going to use this side because it chewed on it. Flatten that out. Make sure that is at the other end. Flip it around. And let's come across, and we'll come all the way from about here, okay, to here. So cut all the way across. Okay, okay. Okie doke. So I'm going to, I've gone to that seam, so I'm just going to trim that off now. And I'm going to trim off that bit. Trim off this bit. Gave myself a fright then. I thought I'd cut through the wrong layer. Bit hard when you're not holding on. There we go. Oh, there's a seam there. Then I'm going to, I've got you in the picture either. And I'm going to trim this in half. And I'm going to come down on an angle. So I've cut this crazy shape. See how I've cut that shape? It's a funny shape. So you can see here, when I fold it out, it's no longer a square. See how it's like this funky looking shape? So that takes away that square look we don't want. Do you have a walking foot on? Yes, darling. Yes, I need to use a walking foot when doing this because you've got your 2 or 3 layers of fabric. Otherwise, it'll just bunch up. So just give that a nice finger press. Now I'm going to go around this side. I could, if I wanted to, change that there, but I'm going to come across here. I might even trim that out a little bit. Probably went too far with that one. Come back a bit. Okay. I'll just trim that down. Okay. Now I can, again, if I wanted to, I can have a nice big long piece like this one. So I could do that across there, and I think I might. And that will go right across to there. So pretty much going to go from here to the end. Okay. Okay. Right. I'll just trim off those little bits. And flip that over. Okay. And now I need to do across the top here. I thought there was a browny colour there. There it is. That's that one. No. Is it the same as that? Yeah. That could do it. Could be enough. I just need... might not be enough. Just grab a bit of this. Just sewing from here to here. Okay, see you, Pat. Judy Downing, she does. Yes. I'm trying to decide if I should applicate or paint my picture on my tote bag. Oh, which tote? Is it the new ones you just got? Are you going to be painting directly onto the wool? Onto fabric first and then joining? Okie doke. Right, so here's where I want to, and I know you're going to freak out when I start putting a little bit of this in, but it's just going to be slithers of it. So I'm going to come across on that angle from around about probably here to about here. Do both, yeah. See, Judy. Oh, no, you're not going. Sorry. My older one, think onto black background. Yeah, okay. Is it felt or is it just cotton? Yeah, look, I think if you are going to do it onto fabric, you can paint. If you were to trying to paint onto felt, I don't think it'd work very well. Felt doesn't sort of take paint very well. So look, why not? Why not do both? Why not applique or this and paint? Like, why not have a painted piece around, sorry, the or in the middle of a what's the name of this? So this piece here, you'd be painted and then do your crazy patchwork. No reason why not. So looking at this, the angle's really strange. If I come across here, I'm going to cut out half of this. So I'm going to come under here and create like a bit of a triangle. Hi, Wendy. Yeah, the Astafelt tote. Yeah, look, I would do it onto fabric first and then onto it. That's my personal opinion. I'm going to take the point off that. Wendy, just a quick heads up. The B12 had sold out. That's why I couldn't give it to you. So sorry for that. All right. Oh, I've got a nice long big bit that's got lots of colours on it. Nice. So let's find some. All right. So let's go from this one. So we're going to utilise, not go that way, utilise some of this. And we're going to come across here, literally come across here and go from there to there. Yeah, I think it will look good because there's so much, I won't get a weight. There's so much blue in this. I think it'll actually make it pop. So I'm happy with it so far. Yeah, sorry, Wendy, apologies. Does happen, unfortunately. When I talk to my little barley man, I will let you know, you guys, if I get some of that really nice white with that lovely pattern on it again, because it was lovely. Right, so I'm just taking out some of that seam. I'm being a little bit more careful today, have you noticed? All right, so pressing that over, I can see that I need to create that. And probably that. So it's another funky shape, but it'll work well. And then this one here, once I do this one, because I'm going to do this one first now, I'm going to do another one on that. Oh, Maggie's here. Hi, Maggie. So I'm going to do that burgundy one. Just trying to find, oh, there's a joined one. No, that's that one with a fair little bit of stuff on it. There's a nice joined one. So if you're using a joined one, I'm just going to make sure that the joins don't meet the other ones, like so that doesn't line up. I don't want it to be too perfect, I suppose. So I'm going to sew from here to here and sew that on. That should cover that corner up. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Yeah. It's hard sometimes because my little man he gets certain things, but he might only get so many meters of something, and then I'm sort of stuck with only being able to get well what we got 4 meters of whatever it was at the start. I'm thinking I might just pop a bit of blue over that. I know it's random, but I think it'll look nice. I'm just going to come across that on an angle. Leave that there for the moment. Crazy Patchwork. Hi, Chris. I love Crazy Patchwork. This was one of, when I was, when I first sort of started doing quilting, this was one, not the first, but one of the first types that we did it all by hand. Like cut our pieces out really anally and all that sort of stuff. But I love sewing machines, and I think that'll look nice in the corner there. I think so. It'll just make it pop because the corner's only going to be there, so it's only going to be a tiny piece. While I'm up this side, I'm just going to do this corner, and got a nice little bit there. That will go across there just nicely. And it gives me a broken up colorway. So I'm just going to come. Actually, I have to come across on that angle. Takes a little bit of the blue out, but that's okay. And I also find, are you going to put more blue? Yes, I am. I also find that the less I think, the better it works out. I think the more I put into preparing for it, it's not as nice as if, oh, I've got a bit of a gap there, which I'll fill with ribbon. I should have come across a bit tighter. So I don't think it feels as nice as what, works as nice as what it does when it's more random. I'm going to use this little piece, and I might come across on that angle from there to there. And because I grabbed majority of this from a quilt kit that I have finished the quilt and it's just leftovers, they're also corresponding really well. And then I just, because it had blue in it, I just thought I'd add a little bit of blue to it. I did look at the purple, but it's just, I don't think it's going to look nice. Beauty. Then we've got another little corner here, and I can add, no, that's the same one as there, put a little bit of yellow there. So that one can go there. It'll probably disappear, that yellow, but at least it's covering the corner. Okay, so that will do that. Fills up that corner. I am going to fix that eventually. I'll come around to it in a minute. All right, I'm going to need to come across from there, long way, right across to here. But I'm just thinking how I'm going to position everything. So I've got a lighter colour on there. I haven't used that yet, but I might actually put a little bit of this in there, just across there, and then I might use a bit of blue. It's the kind of patchwork in progress you don't know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I remember the first thing I made with it was cushion seat covers for these stools I had. Oh, I had them for years and years and years. Eventually they wore out. But it just meant that all I had to do was cut the shape of the cushion a little bit more for excess and seaming, and it was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. Did what I needed it to do without stressing, and I just used up a whole heap of scraps. There's an absolute ripper of a scrap buster. All right, so I've got a nice long little area there. I can add some blue. So if you notice, I sort of tried to cut it a little bit straight with that angle. Oops, I don't use that side. So I'm going to make like a long slither of blue on here. Okay. And it's got a bit of pink in it, that blue, so it's working really, really well. And I'm just going to turn this over, trim that excess off because it's massive. And flatten that out. And here's where I'm going to trim. It's going to look like a straight line, which is fine because I've got lots of different angles. And the idea is to get lots of different angles when you do these so that it doesn't look so organised. So I don't really have a yellow on that side. So I'm thinking maybe a lallo. And I'll come across on an angle just to give it a little bit of shape, different shape. Hi Lynette, happy Saturday. Would you have any large backing fabric? Yes, I have backing fabric. I have lots of different ones. I've got tone on tones, which are 2800 wide, and I think I've only got ivory and cream left in those. And then I've got other ones that are 2400 wide, and they're all patterned and stuff. So I'm going to do a bit of a fabric sale, so I might bring them out and show you guys. Everyone here is very well on my side of the things. I hope everyone's well on the other side of the internet there. So I'm going to say, now I've come across on that angle, so if I come across this angle, so come on the other side, so one way and then the other, that'll help break up that straight line thing that's happening here. I don't want it all in straight lines. So the next fabric I might use is, I might use this brown if I've got one that's long enough. Yes. So instead of coming on that angle, I'm going across that angle. Yeah. I think I went to bed at about 9 o'clock. I was buggered. And then I went and took Jaden to basketball, and I came out of basketball. Oh, you're watching while you're ploughing in the paddock. That's hilarious. And I came out of basketball to go to the car, and because I drive a little, beat up car to these things, and just gets me from A to Z. And the bloody tyre's flat. I couldn't believe it. I'm just like, oh, for God's sake. So, anywho, I sat there and pondered my life in general, and I said to Jaden, geez, it almost looks like someone slashed it. It went down really, really well. Cool old box. What? Yep. What I finished to see what you think. Yeah, no worries, Lynette. No, one of the tyres had gone right down to the wire, and I mean wire. So I've come across it from that way, now that way, so I'm crisscrossing. So my next one is going to go this way. So the fabric literally has to come across from there to there. And I think that'll look good. We'll do that one. It does have a bit of a seam issue, so let's try and see if we can fix that without it chewing it up too much. And might cheat a little. Yeah, you could plough the patchwork design into a paddock. Absolutely. All right, so I did cheat there, and so what I did was, it was really naughty. I'll show you. All right, so what I did was, see how that is open, yeah? See that opening bit there? So this foot only likes thicker stuff. So what I did, instead of just sewing that down there, I folded it over and then I sewed that there and then I trimmed that open. Are you watching? Oh, you're good. You're feeling inspired. That's the main thing. As long as you're feeling inspired. Where was I? Or I was rudely interrupted by myself. Now, so we've gone that way. We're going to go the opposite. So let's go this way. And the big suggestion with this is just make sure that you don't make your seams too thin. Don't cut too much back. Because, you know, if it's something that's going to, especially say seat covers, because I did find I had to patch them up a couple of times way back then because the seams were a bit too tight, and with all the use of it, they just pull apart and stuff. So, all right, you ready? So we've got that way. So now we're going to go this way. And I need a fabric that I'm going to like, and maybe thinking, no, not that one, not that one, not that one. I could do, no, I won't do another blue. I could do this one quite easily. Don't I have a scrap one of that? Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't. That's not big enough. All right. Or is it? Maybe. No, it's not big enough. That'll do it. Yeah. Search through my scrap bits. So instead of going that way, I'm now going to come across this way. There's no use buying all these things and fabrics and tools and thread and all that stuff without actually using it. You should take an aerial view of that, Sue, and while you're ploughing, get an aerial view, Google Maps or something, and see what it looks like. Create patchwork from your paddock. Oh, there we go, that's better. Then I want one more little piece in the corner there, little bit. Not that it'll be shown, but yeah, I've got this one, that'll do. I'll just shove that on there. It's just a little random piece. Probably end up getting cut off. And going in the opposite direction again. And I'll trim off the outside. So it comes down there. And I'll just trim that and trim that because we don't need it. A bit of a shake of that stuff everywhere. So I've done 1, 2, 3 corners. I still have that gap. And now I've got to do this one. And I'm going to do something similar to that. I'm going to sort of swap and change my angles. So just moving some bits away. And I do need the blue, but I don't want it too close to that one. So I might do a colour first and then the blue. And maybe thinking I need a lighter one. So I'm going to come across on this angle and really thin that out because it's a bit wide. And even once I get all this fabric on here, I'm still not finished. So I'll show you what happens next. So, and I've also cut off some of that as well, which will break up that corner. All right. So flip that over. So that's broken up that big fat square line. Then we need, I'm going this way, so now I want to go that way. But if I do that, I'm going to come down and keep cutting off this. So I'm thinking I'll do another one this way, sort of just fan it a little bit, and then I'll go on something else. So I'm still not quite ready to put that glue in. It's nice, isn't it, Wendy? So again, I'm just coming up from that edge there, and if I make it like the same thickness, so if I just hold it there and then just move it up, it's just going to look like a strip. If I make it from that corner there, come across, like from there to there, it'll look more like a wedge. So I'm going to do the wedge thing so that I can turn my piece. So the majority of these fabrics I'm using are from Boutiques Australia, and I normally sell them at $18 a metre. These fabrics specifically have all been sold, but I do have others very similar in the same tonal values as well. So I can show you those later too. I also want to go through what's left from the $12 fabrics because, like I say, if I can give them to my regular customers, but sell them to my regular customers rather than just anyone. What we dark red, yeah, yep, beautiful, isn't it? That beautiful burgundy dark red colour, and I like this one too. Yeah, we lovingly refer to as, the blow-in type thing. Then I know that, I'm looking after my regs. So, all right, another bit of this blue. And again, so I'm pretty much got this par and pass so that I can actually go from this edge to this edge, which means I can do it in any angle. So I can go across and create a sliver, boring, or I might actually come across on that angle, which means these two blues are not touching, and do it that way. So I'm just going to find a nice, reasonably straight edge. There we go. That'll do me. So from that one to there, and it'll create the wedge going the other way. Are your scissors you trim with like duckbills? Yes, Wendy, they are mini duckbills. I have them in stock, and they're $20 a pair, or one pair. You can see them there. There you go. Brilliant little scissors. Use them all the time. Them and these as well for threads. They're good, and they're only about $4. They're brilliant. All right. So I'll just go get that started. I'm packing. Yuck. Listen to you is keeping me sane. Good, Michelle. But you've put that bit in. Are you going straight into your new home? Did you get that home, or are you just packing just for a general reason, just to get it, ready for when you move? So now we're going the other way. All right. I like it, but I need this burgundy up here because there's not enough of it there. So I've got a couple that are joined, and I'll go the other way now and cut across those like that, from there to there. I'll need to get some of those. I have big ones for heirloom, yeah. So the big ones, yeah, I find with little things like they get a bit heavy on my hand. I've got a pair I've had for a long time, but they seem to be fairly stiff. So I think I need to take them to the scissor bloke and get them looked at. Yeah, in the meantime, I just use the little ones. But these little ones, I love them. Just going to take that out of there. I'm going to cut my underneath, and there. Do you like the sound effects? They're free. They come free with every recording. All right, so these little fellas will get in under there. And brilliant for getting in close. And as long as your hand's steady, you're laughing. Right. You're unpacking. Oh, God, I'll need to, yeah. You're unpacking and one's packing and one's unpacking. Goodness me. Alrighty. So that's that one. That looks better. And I'm thinking I need a little bit of, where's that one? Come here. No. No, just throw it away. And yes, this one. Right, so we're going that way. I keep going that way. I might go. Let me just think. No, I might go that way. You're liking them a lot. Yeah, they're good, aren't they? I use them with Trapunto as well, with sewing, like on the sewing machine with a Trapunto. Brilliant with Trapunto. You can get right up close without. No, you've got to be careful, of course, because they're very, very sharp little darlings. But you can get right up close to your seam without snipping it. Very sharp, but they're brilliant little scissors. Love them. So I'm just going to cut that across there. Fold that over. I'll do one more. And a little bit blue there, and that. Sorry, I'm just nutting out in my brain what I'm going to do there. Might do another lello, so I'll come across that way. But you're great distraction, Michelle. You're welcome. All right. All right. Now, there we go. Let's fold that up. Quick snip. Down. There's my corner. Alrighty. Now, this is where I'll use a blade. A bit of fabric underneath there. I'll just get in there and pull that out. I'll trim it out. How did that happen? How redonkulous. Alright. Bits of thread and stuff everywhere. Okay. That's only going to be a real issue if you're going to use a backing that's white. All right. So if you've got a white backing and you've got bits and black and everything else here, it's going to show through. Hi, Gidget. All right. Blade and ruler. And there's my blade. Where'd I bury my ruler? There it is. Oops. I'm throwing things. All right. A bit of a shake. Okay. Flatten that out. Now I have to stand to do this, otherwise I'll cut myself. That one there. Yeah. Now I can see my fabric. I'm going to cut that. There it is there. There it is. It's going to look like it's on a yucky angle. That'll be okay. Now I'll use that as my straight line. You can see my fabric. Itchy nose. Now I'm using my ruler, not so much my mat. All right. Just fine. I can see the cotton underneath, believe it or not. Goes to about there. And trim it off. Don't even look. Don't look at it. You'll just freak yourself out. And I'm just trying to find that cotton, which is about there. Use that as my straight line with my ruler. That looks like it's on an angle, so I'll have to double check that. There it is. You see it straight away. What was I doing? Front. There we go. And then we've got this one that goes to about here. And down. Nice. And take all that off. I'll just double check that. Yeah, it's come off a little bit there, I think. A little bit of an angle there. Yep. Yep, that's all good. All right, so I've got it pretty much squared now, roughly. You're just busy sewing, nice. All right, so that's it there, okay, ready and raring to go. I still have my little exposed bit of batting there, but we'll work on that in a minute. Now, I'm getting some of these out, and just put them in there. I've also got this one, and I'm going to change my foot over to my free motion foot. Then I'll put that, there it is. Lovely, isn't it, Heather? So rather than work against what I've got in front of me, the the blue, whatever, and I added it in and worked with the fabric. Okay, so that makes sense? Sure it would. Okay, in this, let's see. I don't know if you can see that, but they're little paisleys. So I'm going to trim a couple out. Nothing overly exciting, just one or two. And that one. I've got to change my thread yet because I do need to have a burgundy thread. So there's one. You can see that there. Not coming on. Maybe three. I like odds. Odd numbers. Three would be good. This one. And I'm just using my cheap little $4 scissors, or I probably could be using my duck bills, which would be sensible, but anyway. That's true. I think I buried my duck bills. Yeah, that I did. All right, and let's get another one. So whenever I look at anything like this kind of fabric, I'm sort of looking at things that are that I can cut out of them, a bit of, not so much fussy cut, but I suppose it is a good walk away, have a cup, and then go back. Yeah, exactly. I couldn't do a thing right this morning, change needle 3 times. Oh, what are you doing that you had to change the needle? All right, so that's 3 of those. Got that, and that. I have these 2 in stock. These 2 trims. I don't have this colour in stock, but I have other versions of that. All right, so change the thread. I'm not changing my bobbin. It should be fine. Oops, days. Oh, I'm dropping things. Okay, so nice. Gotta love it. Look at that. First up, berg. This is just a metler. They're not overly expensive. Pretty much find them anywhere. But I've obviously bought it for the colour. But I don't mind Metla. I don't stock them, but I don't mind them. All right, there we go. So that's a Metla. That's not good. Yeah, I'm just reading your comments. All right, little bits everywhere. Now I just need to place these. So I want to have them on the lighter things. I've got to make sure they're up the right way too. That'd be really cool. So I can have them sort of, I might put one just there. I don't want to put them 1, 2, 3 because that'll just look weird. But I can have them going in a line. That won't look weird. And then I'll trim with those little scissors after it, these little fellas. But I'm at an R as to whether I go across there like that or the other one. Yeah, they don't like that one. I could only end up using one the way I'm going. Looks a bit weird, doesn't it, to have them in a line? So maybe that. Yeah, I think that. So I'm just going to get a little bit of glue stick. And that is... Nope, not in there. Give me 2 secs. Oh, where I put it? I just had it the other day. Might be in here. Yep. Sorry, guys. It's really weird. I had my little glue stick the other day. I was using it. Like in there, how much for sparkly, please? These ones here I have in. Actually, I have them in a cream, a black, a gold, a white. I have a red, and I have like a plummy pink, and then I have a plum, and I have mauve, purple, and I'll show you these a little bit later, but they're all $10 a piece, okay? They're 24 by 48 centimetres. So I'll do them in a minute, but let me just find my glue stick, for goodness sake. What on earth have I done? God, how ridiculous. No glue stick. We just go the hard way. All right. I might find a pin or two then, I think. That's okay. because otherwise they'll fall and I'll forget where they're supposed to be. Heads up too, just use a different colour pin head. If you use a red one, you won't see it. Blue, yellow, anything other than what's actually the colour of it. Alrighty, so I'm going to put this down. Oh, come on, there we go. Move the camera. And you can see there, I'm going to zoom right in as far as I can go. I probably, yeah, you know what? I reckon it'll be in the house. Missed it again. We'll have to look at the previous. Yeah, that's fine, Stella. Oh, you're busy, aren't you? You know, life goes on. Can't revolve it all around me. You should, but you can't. Joking. All right, so let's get these little babies. Just take that out of lock. I'm going to move my needle over to the left and knock it down. It feels a bit tight, so I'm going to lift. Yeah, needle down, needle up. Just a bit of a knot off. Now, I'm going to just gently sew around this. So remember, it is like a what do they call it, chiffony type thing. So what I'm doing is just stitching the actual design and up to there, turning, moving that pin out of the way, but pushing it over here. Still hold on to that edge. I don't want to lose the, I don't want it to curl up on me. Wait, get over there. Right. And then stop. Cut off. Pin out now. And go to the next one. There we go. And remembering I only have wadding under this. I don't actually have any backing fabric on this set. I'm just going to move that. I just started to get caught because I've got an open toe foot. I don't want it getting caught. Just going to push them down a little. Perfect. Love it when a plan comes together. Conditional offer accepted now. Just have to sell our place and squeeze 400 metre square house and shop into 200 metres. Do you know any magicians? Oh my God. Oh, dear me. We might have to do a bit of a sale, I think, Michelle. Okay. Just sewing around this. And I'm doing a couple of rows, just so you know. You can see I've got little rough edges here. Oops, a daisy, where's the camera? There it is. All right, so little rough edges. Zoom in, baby. Come to mama. There it is there. Come on. So with this, very carefully, just up to the stitching, no further. Just give it a bit of a trim. Harry Potter, yeah, well, that's true. Harry Potter, don't know him personally though. I'm sewing or cutting, and you guys can't even see it. There we go. Oh, that's better. You can see that. So I'm just trimming around the edges of some of these, but like I say, try not to trim too close that you take away, but I'm just trying to smooth it so it looks more like a paisley and less like a Raggedy Ann. Are very, very sharp, and definitely not a child's toy. Definitely not. Okay. So my fingers just got caught. My daughter's best friend turned 18 yesterday, day before yesterday, and she had her 18th last night. And her father sent me in his drunken stupor, sent me a message. It was pretty funny that that me and Rod have the most beautiful, well-mannered daughter ever. And I'm thinking to myself, you've got no idea what she can be like to her mother. Oh dear, she is. She's gorgeous. But I think that about his daughter too. I think she's lovely. She's like a second daughter to me. Known her since she was in about grade 4 or 5 or something, I think. So, and the other thing you'll notice, I'm going into those little. Oops, sorry. There we go. Yes, I need a pair too, please. Oh, you mean the scissors, Gidget? Yeah, I'll pop a pair aside for I think it was Wendy, wasn't it, that wanted a pair? And Gidget. If I'm not right, please just tell me. I don't want to charge someone for something that's not there. All right, so I think I've got those on. Let me see those. They're starting to zoom in a bit. There we go. Come on, baby, you can do it. Zoom in. Nice. Yeah, no worries, Gidget. All right, so I also have this fella here, and I have this, which has a really nice sort of burgundy-ish look to it. So that's going to cover up that little indiscretion there. Look at that. Just like I bought one. It'll go over the top of my paisley, but I'm okay with that. I might come across on an angle a bit more. There we go. And that's going to go across there. So straight under my needle. Flip down, needle down, hang on to it, and do a bit of a wiggly line through it so you catch it all. And as you come close to that little gap there, if you've got one, anything like that, hold that tight, okay? So you get a nice smooth stitch. And on the end of this, if you don't go right across and cut that, like stitch that down, I'll show you what happens. Oops, I just got my needle. So okay, so was that one I've just sort of started there, so I'd have to go across, just fine. That'll go into the seam of anything anyway, and just stitch that down. Yeah, the duckbill ones. Yep, no worries, Michelle. Yummy sparkles. Yes, I know. So that's going to go across there. Look at that. That's now decorated that little corner there. I have a really nice burgundy Ricky rack. A little bit of a loose thing there, so I'll go this side. Yeah, that's fine. And I'm going to come across. It's very wide, so I'm going to come across on that angle, and I'm going to sort of go down one side and then I'm going to come across the other side because it's too wide just to do down the centre. All right. So you go across the bottom of it so that you cut off any chance of those threads fraying, and then you just come backwards, just holding onto that fabric and the oops daisy the embellishment. Sorry, I just have to go out a little bit higher. There we go. And out there. There, and at the end, go across like I did with the other one, and that cuts that off. It stops it from fraying everywhere. Freezing a bit today. Okay. Okay. Maybe because I'm moving around a bit. So just cut that off and cut that one off. Nice. So there we go. It's on. I'm going to use this again, this one, and I'm going to come from one corner, one whole corner, all the way over there, right across to the other side, and I'm going to cross over my what do they call it, rick rack, the other rick rack. I'm just going to roll into it down the centre. You can use a walking foot if you want to. You don't have to do this freehand, free motion. But because I'm doing lots of little wiggly lines, I just thought I'd do the free motion foot thing. Makes it a little bit easier. And then come across that top bit, stitch that down. Ribbons, anything like that will work. Absolutely. Cut that off and cut that off there. So now I've done that. And I've got a little bit more of this one left. So I'm going to come across, just keeping an eyeball on how much I've got. Don't need a huge amount. So come across here, just stitch that in. Just again, I don't want it fraying everywhere. And just push it under a little bit tighter. And tight. Realign. And then I'll go back around, like back down on this and just do across that bottom side just to seal it. Again, cross there, cross there, cross there, nice, and we're done. For that one, trim that, so a little bit hairy one, because it was right on the edge of it. And finished. Okay, so I'm liking the look of this. It's looking pretty damn cool. And I can decide whether I want to do something else or whether I just want to leave it as is. Might be nice to have one crossing over, but you know, doesn't necessarily need it, I don't think. I think it's doing quite fine as it is. So I'll zoom out and I'll show you. So that looks pretty cool. I like it. I'm thinking that maybe I might need, because there's a bit of an empty corner going on up here, so I might just get maybe one paisley and just put that in there. Vibarium, there they are. So this one here on the corner, do. Actually, no, that's it. That's it. There we go. To your free motion quilting demo, you'll need to have a yogurt and coffee. I haven't had yogurt for a while, actually. I accidentally had one that sort of, even though the use-by date was okay, it went icky, and that put me off. And I went, no, can't do it. So I haven't had yogurt for it. It says coffee. I haven't pinned this one down, so I'm going to have to hang on to the baby. I hope my fingers don't get caught. Alrighty, nice. So I think that looks better with just something in the corner there. It just looked a bit, compared to everything else, it just looked a bit random and plain. All right. Okay, so that one there in the corner. Trim it up and we're done. So there you go. So I'll just write down those few little things, or if you could message me just to make sure I don't forget, because you know what I'm like, brain like a sieve, too much going on in my life, yada, yada, yada. So trim, 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 nice and gentle. Where's the camera? Yeah, sure. Right. There we go. I like it. Looks cool as. So I'll take a photo of that. You guys will get to see it in full swing, what it looks like. But I think that looks pretty damn bloody awesome. I could also put one here, down the bottom. Yeah. Yeah. You can just keep going and going. You know what I mean? And then I can turn it this way, and then it doesn't look like it's missing something on the bottom. Or I could have it that way. Then it looks like it's missing something here. So I think of paisley again. What do you think? Yeah. All right, I'll do that while I'm off camera. All right, ladies, thank you for joining me. I'll just zoom it right, oops, wrong way, and slip her up there so you get to see my bullhead. Thank you for joining me again. I will see you around about 1-ish. And what's it say? Black one, yep. And when we do a bit of free motion quilting, then I think I've got on my list, then it's 3 p.m., which is still painting. So, and then I'm going to do a sale, and that silk stuff, I think it was Wendy who asked me about it, and Gidget would like a black one of that. You finished your paddock, Sue? The trims on my crazy patchworks are amazing. I love it. I never thought, yeah, absolutely. Wendy, who asked about the this stuff. So I have like a ready burgundy one there for you. That one. There's a different. It doesn't have a paisley, so it's different. See how it's got a different pattern. But anyway, we'll go through these and I'll show them to you after the workshops today, and we'll do a bit of a sale on stuff, and I'll go through some things. So yeah, still cut outable, but different pattern. What have we got here? So the black one I've got has that sort of pattern. See? Did you see me wanting scissors too? No, I did not. Thank you, Sue. So I need to put 3 aside. I think I just got lucky with the pattern. Oh, I've got this one in a paisley. I've only got one. Then I've got that. Oh, that's it. Looks like that's it. That's all the paisleys. Yep, that's it. I'd like that ready burgundy one with the floral in them. So it's not as bright as the camera's showing. It does look like it's bright, but it's closer to that than you think. All right. So they're a flower, so you'd still be able to cut them out. All right. So Gidget, the design on the black is like a floral. See? All right. But I have to go because I'm due to do another class and I'm dying of thirst. I've got Sue, Wendy, and Gidget a pair of those scissors. I will put them aside. I'm not processing orders. Any of these orders I am not processing until after Shepparton, just so you know. Okay. Yeah, you can cut a paisley on it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely can. Yep. All right. See you guys soon. Some free motion quilting. We might do it on the Trapunto one we did yesterday in class. So maybe that might be what we need to do. All right. So I'm just going to pop those few aside for Wendy and Gidget, and you guys can then confirm with me, PMing me. That red, pink, that's okay, Michelle. No, you don't want it. Yep, okay. Or you do. Just confirm yes or no so that I know what I'm doing. And I will get back to you guys soon. Good. We can buy more and send it to get. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, well, you can put it over a period of time and with one postage. Bye till later, Wendy. See you guys. Bye. Oops.